Do you want to know my thoughts on feeling into your decisions? Well, buckle up, because in this episode of #winning, I'm going to lay it down like I see it. And spoiler alert, if you are somebody who likes to feel their way into decisions, this is going to rub you the wrong way. So just in case you don't know me, my name is Duriel Kim. I'm the CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health practitioners and coaches scale their businesses online without the grind. Being a health professional myself, I've been in this space for 20 years, and I love helping health professionals because you guys are so amazing, right? The work you do is just incredible. It transforms people's lives. But there's a lot of bullshit that holds us back. There's a lot of bullshit that's holding you back. And that bullshit is stuck between your ears, which is why I do this #winning series. Just before I get into today's conversation, I just want to give you guys some love and some props. I've been getting like text messages from some of my clients, like Kevin, who's like, hey man, I've been loving these as well. I've been watching them for 2 years. And obviously the comments, some of you guys are really pumped about seeing these pop up on Wednesdays. So I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying these, because I get a lot of joy out of producing these videos, because I just get to talk about the way I see certain situations. And I understand that I'm not everyone's cup of tea, right? Nor are you. That's the thing, is that you shouldn't try to be everyone's cup of tea. I'm going to speak my truth. Some of these videos are longer. They're not heavily edited. It's just raw. It's unfiltered. It is the way it is, right? I think, that's just what I want to bring to the market. I want to bring myself, and I think that's the best we can do, is just be the best version of ourselves and then share that with as many people as possible. That's pretty much all I've done for the past 18 years online. And it's obviously evolved as I have as well. So we're on a mission to help 1 billion people improve their health. And part of the reason I started Healthpreneur was because I knew I couldn't do that by myself. So I started helping health professionals because I'm like, well, number one, I am one. Number two, I love this industry because we make the most, what other profession transforms people's lives to the degree that we do? No one. Plumbers, electricians, lawyers, forget about it. Health professionals and coaches, we're a unique species. And that's why I want to serve this audience. So by helping people like yourself grow your business, you can be better as a business owner, and collectively we can all help more people. So my goal is, by the time I die, is we've impacted the lives of 1 billion people on the planet to better health, to becoming the best versions of themselves. And that's something that's really, really important to me. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'm just taking one day at a time, right? I've got the vision, I've got the goals, we've got stuff in place, but no one ever knows. So part of my frustration sometimes is, and this is obviously what I have to work on, is recognizing that not everyone sees the world the same way I do. Let me just kind of bring this all around to what we're talking about today, which is this topic of feeling into your decisions. One of the skills that we help our clients with is really helping them become the CEO of their business, is really thinking like a business owner and making decisions from a place of logic and data, right? I feel this is going to work better. It doesn't matter what you feel. It sucks. The data doesn't support it. We got to change it up. That's essentially what we're getting at. But what's interesting is that when we are speaking to prospective clients, and we help the whole spectrum, right? Like chiropractors, naturopaths, functional medicine doctors, health coaches, etc. There's obviously a segment of this market who are, I would consider, maybe a little more feely, right? Light workers, energy healers, and it doesn't really matter what the label is. I mean, you can be a chiropractor and be more feely, it doesn't matter. And what I've noticed is that people who are more feely or quote unquote intuitive are some of the worst business owners. Now, on the flip side, they're also some of the best. I think intuition comes from experience. But I want to call bullshit on this excuse that I see so many people make that it makes me sick to my fucking stomach. And if you're dealing with this as well, hopefully what I share with you can be useful. I would consider myself a very intuitive person. I would consider myself very woo-woo, very spiritual, but also very pragmatic. I mean, you see my other videos on manifesting and law of attraction, and my license plate says vibrate high, so you guys know me. I'm not against that stuff. What I am against is when people either misuse that as an excuse to get out of a situation they're uncomfortable in, or they say they're that and they're full of shit because they don't even realize what it is. So I'll give you an example of how this shows up. Have you ever had a call with someone who is interested in working with you, who said it's a 10 out of 10, I definitely want to work with you, I just need 7 days to meditate on this? Have you ever had someone say that? Not maybe those exact words, but something along those lines. I need to meditate on it. I'm not the type of person who makes decisions on the spot. I like to feel into my decisions. Fuck off. Seriously. Because here's the thing. Intuition is instantaneous. If you're an intuitive person, you know the answer now. And if you say you need several weeks or days to process and feel your emotions, here's what you're gonna feel. Fucking terror and fear. Because I can promise you, in 7 years, and in 7 years, we've done probably north of 20,000 enrollment calls. So these are people who've raised their hands saying, I'm somewhat interested in working with you guys. And I understand there's not always a good fit. I understand it's all good, right? It's all good. But of the people who have said, I definitely want to do this. I'm a 10 out of 10. I just got to meditate on it. Or I got to feel into my emotions. I can tell you with 100% certainty that not a single one of them, not one, has ever come back and said, let's do it. So initial call, follow-up is a couple days later because they can't make a decision. So they can't make a same day or next day decision. They need 7 days or whatever. Not once has one person in that situation, have they come back around to say, yep, let's do it. I thought about it. I meditated on it. And I realized that this is the best thing for me. Not once, ever, never. I know that doesn't even make sense in English. So why am I sure? So you could say, okay, Yuri, well, maybe your offer sucks and people just don't want to work with you, which is very true, 100%. Maybe they don't see the value. Maybe they don't think it's going to work for them. I get that, right? See, this is what I'm trying to get at though. Just fucking say that on the call. But I understand that that's not going to be easy for a lot of people because what people do, and when I say people, I'm talking, think about this through the lens of you speaking with prospective clients. Someone's like, I'm in a really bad health situation. I want your help. I know this can work for me. And I have no one else to talk to. No spouse, nothing. And at the end of the call, actually, you know what? I totally forgot. I got to run this by my husband. Cop out. That's called avoiding making a decision. So all I ask of anyone is let's just be honest. Let's not have the pleasantries and the smoke screen conversation. Let's have the real conversation. And unfortunately, the real conversation happens after the price is revealed, right? Because everything's amazing if it were free. But as soon as there's a price tag, especially if it's a few $1,000s, to be like, oh, it's a lot more money than I was expecting. Oh, sorry, I got a call on my iPhone, which is, by the way, $1,500 fucking dollars. Actually, sorry, I have an email on my computer here, which, oh yeah, that's a $2,000 computer. You know what? I got to take my car to the mechanic tomorrow, which, by the way, is a $30,000 car. Do you see what I'm getting at here? We lie to ourselves and other people all the time. And when someone tells you that they don't want to do your thing, it's either because they're full of shit in the sense that they don't want what they say they want, which in that case, like, just stop talking about it, please. Like, fuck off. Or number two, which is also very valid, is they don't believe that your solution, or in our case, our solution, is going to work for them, which is totally fine as well. All I'm asking is, can you just be honest about that? You don't need 7 days to know that. Because here's what happens is time kills all deals. On the flip side of that, time can also be helpful sometimes for making a good, logical decision. And I'm all for that. If you're buying a house, yeah, if you're going to drop a couple million, take a moment to think of that. Ironically, I purchased this house and our house in Mexico like that because I'm an intuitive person. So you can't use that. I mean, you could say, well, maybe that's not intuitive, that's impulsive. No. Here's the difference. I'm not impulsive. I know when something makes sense. I actually just joined another coaching program 2 days ago, and here's the text. Hey man, what else do I need to get started? That was my first text to the coach I hired, who's also a good buddy of mine. That's it. I didn't need to know what are the deliverables, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I knew that based on what I needed, this person would provide that. And I just said, fucking let's do it. Because it's not about being impulsive. And this is the thing, is like, you have to understand what I again, I don't know if this is for sure, but this is what I'm observing. I actually don't think that people who say they're into their feelings or they're super intuitive, I don't even think they understand the difference between their feelings and their calling. So what I mean by that is they say they're a feeler and then they go think about it and feel about it forever. And what do they feel? They feel scared shitless. And all of a sudden they think that's the appropriate emotion. And therefore this isn't the right decision. No, that's why you're stuck and your business sucks. Do you understand that? The reality is that if it feels uncomfortable, it's usually the right decision to make. because you're literally going against your emotion. Your emotion is telling you, wait a second, this is new, this is different, this is uncomfortable. It's not supposed to be like, this is definitely in your comfort zone. No, it's not supposed to feel like that. You've not done this before. Your clients have not done the thing you want them to do before. Otherwise, they'd be there where they want to go, or already where they want to go, but they're not. And they're not because they continue to use the scapegoat of, I'm a feeler, I'm going to listen to my emotions, or I'm going to pray to the higher powers. And you're not praying to anyone. You're fucking listening to fear in your head. And that's it. Because you're high. Here's the thing. It's like, there's so much bullshit. And you can tell I get riled up about this. If you are talking to the higher being, if you're religious, spiritual, whatever, the higher power is pure love, and it's the higher version of you. The higher version of you only wants the best for you. Now, I'm not saying that our program, our coaching, is the best solution for every single person we speak with. I'm not delusional. I understand that. But when someone tells us that it's a 10 out of 10 must, they know this is going to work for them, but they need to sleep on it, meditate on it, think about it, go to a mountain for 7 days. I call bullshit. It's a very, very convenient way to get out of doing one very uncomfortable thing, which is making a decision. And I'll tell you one thing all of our clients have in common. And I actually almost cried on a coaching call that I had with my clients last week because of how much I feel about this. They have one trait in common, which is decisiveness. And I told them this on the coaching call. And I said, guys, I have so much respect for you guys because you felt the fear and you fucking did it anyways. You mustered up the courage to be here. You knew this is the right thing for you to do, and you were still uncertain. Like, that's life. You didn't know what it was going to look like, but you believed in yourself. You believed in us to some degree, and you did it. And I literally started crying as I'm talking about this because it came out of nowhere. And it got me emotional because I have so much respect, like an immense amount of respect for those who say they want something and do something about it. And I have very little respect for people who say they want change and then cowered out of it. And I don't know if that's abrasive, or maybe I should just accept people for the way they are, but I'm sorry, that's not the way I'm built. And that can be a limiting belief as well. I'm put on this planet to help me get the best out of me and to help everyone in my world get the best out of themselves. And when someone comes to us because they're struggling financially and they want to grow their business and they want to help more people, if we let them go, we let them down. And the reality is that they let themselves down because they let their stupid fucking mind frick get in the way of helping them move forward. Right? Like, it's all love, light, and positivity, yet your bank account is empty. I can't tell you how many light workers or spiritual people I've seen come across in my life, and they're all friggin' broke. They're amazing at what they do. They have this gift and they're friggin' broke. Well, I'm a feeler. I like to really, get my crystals out and my tarot cards. Great. My wife is into that. We have crystals all over our house. I get it. I'm woo-woo as hell. Trust me. But when it comes to business and thinking logically, you got to think logically. You can't just be like, I'm afraid. How do I know this is going to work out? It just drives me crazy. There was, ironically, a light worker in our free Facebook group a couple years ago. So not a client, obviously. And she had posted something that drove me nuts. She posted a GoFundMe campaign, which in general drive me nuts. But she posted a GoFundMe campaign because she could no longer afford to live in California with her son. And I thought to myself, well, that sucks. And then the PS, she said, by the way, when you're considering donating, please remember that Facebook takes whatever the percentage was. Oh my fucking God, are you crazy? And I just went on a rant. I shot a video about this years ago, I think. So she couldn't take care of her son. She couldn't live in her situation anymore because she didn't have the financial means to do so, because she was the type of person who's not able to think logically to make decisions to move her business forward. And I share this with all the love possible. I hope you're understanding this. If you're a light worker or someone who's a very feely, intuitive person, I love you to the core. But get the fuck out of your own way. Stop just feeling your way through life unless that's exactly where you want to be. If life is amazing and you're being honest with yourself, keep doing what you're doing. For sure. By all means, if you have what you want and it's working out, don't change a thing. But I don't think you're here because of that. We all want to grow, especially if you're a spiritual person. Growth is number one, right? So you can't say that you're spiritual, but then be cowered out of growth. Because if you're spiritual, you're here to grow. If you're intuitive, intuition is intuitive. It's instantaneous. It's that initial download. You know it's a hell yes right away, or it's a no. This is why I can buy multiple $1 million homes by walking into the house the first time and I'm like, yep, this is the place. Because I'm an intuitive person, not impulsive. And intuition comes from really being tapped in to the core of who you are and what you're capable of doing in this world. I don't think I'm like gifted, and I'm sure there are many other people that are way more intuitive and way more spiritually advanced than I am. But if you're somebody who is intuitive, I'm gonna challenge you on this, and you say you need 7 days to make a decision, I call bullshit every single time. And if I ever speak with you and you pull that shit on me, I will call it out right there. And that might rub you the wrong way, but I don't care. I'm not here to rub you the right way. I was about to say something very inappropriate that my wife would have not appreciated. So I'm not going to say that. I'll save that between her and I. My goal is not to, listen, like, do I want you to like me? Maybe, right? Is that going to help in the long term? Perhaps. What's more important is that I want you to achieve your goals. And sometimes that means a bit of tough love. This video is really just, it's coming at you. I understand this. Like there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of passion behind this. But the reason I get worked up around this is I just see so many amazing individuals in all walks of life, right? Health professionals, coaches, and everything, right? And they just hold themselves back. They hold themselves back because of this stuff, right? And it's very frustrating for me, whether it's, listening to my mom talk about how she wants to change but never does. Maybe that's where this all started. Like, I really do think in some way, shape, or form, we all got into this world, this work of helping others because either we suffered or someone very close to us suffered and we wanted to help us or them, which is incredible, right? And if you have an issue making money in the service of other people, then by all means, you need more help than you know. One of the proudest moments in my days is seeing the number of clients of ours who are posting wins. I'll just read you a couple right now, actually. I was just sharing this in our company Slack channel. The number of people in our coaching program, health professionals, dietitians, health coaches, etc., who are turning into sales ninjas. And I say that in the nicest possible way because remember, selling is serving. If you followed my stuff, when I talk about selling, it's always in the service of other people. It's never at the compromise of someone else. And it's only if someone says, I want your help, right? So I'll just give you an example from one of our clients, Karen. So she just said, I've enrolled my 5th client since launching my pipeline less than 2 weeks ago. My biggest win is having the confidence to really lean in and handle objections. Thank you, Ali, who's one of our amazing coaches, for the selling skills recordings. And to Yuri, as you said, if you have the perfect client and you let them go, you let them down. That really resonated with me and I'm loving coaching the perfect client to close. Honestly, I thought I could sell before joining HPA, but what I've learned in the last few weeks has been incredible. That's one example. Let's look at another one. And if you're bored of this, you can fast forward. But I just saw like literally 5 of these today and it's just so incredible. I'm just so proud of, again, these are health practitioners. They're not sales professionals. But the thing is like you have to build the skill of being able to persuade people because if you don't, they're going to bullshit themselves out of the help that they say they want you to help them with. All right, let me find this other one here. Shannon. So Shannon, shout out to you. We actually did a sales call review yesterday on one of my calls. She brought one of her calls. We reviewed it. I gave her some feedback. And 4 hours ago, okay, so literally 4 hours of this recording, one day after my coaching call with her, closed my 3rd sale this morning since launching a few weeks ago. And another prospective client I had a call with last week just emailed me letting me know she's ready to enroll in my program. I can literally cry tears of joy right now. It's finally starting to feel like this whole thing I've been building the past couple of years is finally starting to take off with your help. I changed up the front end of my calls thanks to Yuri's advice on yesterday's sales call review, and I was all prepped to handle her objections better, and then she had none. How interesting. Anyways, so that's another one. There was one more I wanted to share if I can find it in time here. Here's another one from Jacqueline. I've been in HBA for 7 weeks now. I genuinely feel like I already got the entire year's monetary cost worth of value added to my understanding of marketing, sales, communication, implementation, mindset, etc. If it was over now, I would feel exchange was fair. Fortunately, it isn't. She's not even close to being, she's only 7 weeks into the program, and she's saying if it all stopped now, it would be well worth it. Another one, Amanda, closed another painful sale yesterday. My first call back from vacation, which makes 2 in a row. Greg, thanks for the coaching today, Yuri. So he posted this after our sales call review call yesterday. On my follow-up today, she started the call saying she was a no. I stayed with her, asked the right questions, did some coaching, and she ended up with a full pay of $4,500. So I responded to Greg. I was like, well, that was probably a good use of our coaching time together, right? Can you imagine that? Just think about this. He shows up on one of my calls. I give him some nuances. He enrolls a $4,500 client. Just think of what that could do for your business. If you're not currently working with us, hey, you're missing out. So listen, I share all this stuff because this is what I am so proud of. It's helping our clients build the skills where they can have these conversations with the people they can serve, and they can sit in the silence. They can ask the hard questions. They can challenge people from a place of love, not pressure, because they know that if they don't do a good job here and if they don't build the skill of being able to persuade someone, that person goes, leaves, and they continue to suffer. And as I tell my clients, he or she who cares most about the client wins. It's not about pressure. It's not about high sales tactics and none of that shit. It's about fundamentally, I have a solution that I know can transform your life. And I'm not okay letting you feel your way out of this. Cool? So anyways, I gotta go. I gotta make some steak for dinner. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I want to encourage you to really think through important decisions logically, not emotionally, because your emotions usually lead you in the wrong direction. Most people are emotional nightmares. And especially if you freak out when you see prices, just think of how you handle life. You get the point. If this has resonated with you, if you feel what I'm putting down here, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go whip up some steaks. I'll see you in the next episode.